Hi ，It's Saturday evening， 咁而家係星期日嘅黃昏啦。So I finished the performance at 5:30 this morning。咁我係今朝早5點半嘅時候完成晒我香港嗰邊嘅表演啦。And so I went to bed and I slept until like about noon time， 咁跟住我瞓到大概係晏晝12點鐘啦。I woke up, I talked to my friend in Hong Kong about the show for 2 hours。咁跟住我同香港嘅朋友傾關於個表演嘅嘢，傾咗2個鐘頭啦。咁 and then I had lunch and then I studied my Spanish and I just chill the whole day。咁跟住我就食晏啦，跟住溫西班牙文啦，跟住都係喺度 hea 啦咁樣。And now like it's 7 o'clock at night and I'm a little bit tired already。咁而家今晚7點鐘啦，咁我差唔多都有啲眼瞓啦。So I'll do the reading, maybe watch some Netflix and then go to bed around like 9-10. Then tomorrow early morning I will have to wake up and do the evaluation with my team again online。咁跟住我應該大概可能一陣間讀完書之後都 hea 多陣睇下煲下劇啊咁，跟住就大概9點10點鐘瞓覺。聽朝一早我又要起身上網同我嘅隊友做呢一個檢討啦。And then I will have to go to school again right after the meeting。咁跟住然後開完檢討會之後，咁我就要即刻又飛車咧返學，就上西班牙文啦。So this will be the last week。Here in Cartagena， 咁跟住喺 Cartagena 呢個城市咧，就係我最後一個星期啦。咁on Saturday I will be flying to another city。咁星期六我就會飛去另一個城市。Then I'll stay there for another month。咁我喺嗰度又留1個月啦。咁 and my school will have also like a school there。咁因為我學校其實喺下一個城市都有分校嘅。So tomorrow I would like talk to them about registering for another 2 to 3 weeks in another city。咁我應該都會下禮拜返學就會去聽日返學就會同學校傾啦。咁就再繼續註冊喺下一個城市再讀書，即係再繼續我啲西班牙文堂咁咯。So this is the plan。咁呢個禮拜嘅計劃就係咁樣啦。咁There's also some changes about my luggages。咁關於我嘅行裝都有啲轉變啦。But I'll talk to you about I'll talk more about that later。咁但係我應該係啦，遲幾日先再同大家講呢個問題嚇咁。So we'll read now。咁我哋正式開始啦。Read to resist Day 212。當閱讀也是抗爭第212日。A Concise History of Hong Kong by John Mark Carroll。香港簡史。從殖民地至特別行政區，著者高馬可，譯者林立偉。Eurasians. Early Hong Kong also had a sizable Eurasian population, usually the progeny of relations between European men and Chinese women. Eurasians have a complex and often confusing position in Hong Kong society that defies any rigid categorization. Neither fish nor fowl, explains author May Holsworth. Eurasians hovered between Caucasians, for whom they symbolized shameful liaisons with native women, and the Chinese community, which, holding strict ideas about kinship and lineage, scorned anyone who couldn't emblazon his father's name on an ancestral tablet. 歐亞混血兒。香港早期也有為數不少的歐亞混血兒，通常是歐籍男人和華裔女人所生的後代。歐亞混血兒在香港社會中的位置複雜尷尬，難以嚴格分類。作者潘曼 May Holsworth 形容歐亞混血兒既非魚亦非禽，徘徊於白種人和華人之間。對前者來說，他們代表與土著女人之間不光彩的某角；後者則非常注重血脈與宗族世系，對於不能把自己父親名字寫在神主牌上的人十分鄙夷。Given that colonialism was based primarily on racial and class divisions, Eurasians posed a threat to Europeans because of their precarious racial and social status. They were, according to Fakir Lee, liable to a double distrust for having a different identity in the first place, but also for not really having an identity at all, being neither one thing nor the other, and consequently sneaky and opportunistic. Unlike the Portuguese in Macau, the British in Hong Kong never saw miscegenation as a positive practice, that would promote racial harmony and stability. On the contrary, many Europeans consider Eurasians to resemble the mean whites of the southern states of America, while colonial officials frequently worry that colonial mixing produced a new category of wavering classes. John Bowring once expressed concern that the children of native mothers by foreigners of all classes were beginning to ripen into a dangerous element out of the dunghill of neglect. 殖民統治主要是建立在種族和階級分隔的基礎之上，因此歐亞混血兒那種搖擺不定的種族和社會地位對歐籍人造成威脅。李美琪 Vicky Lee 說，歐亞混血兒受到雙重猜疑，首先是因為他們擁有與眾不同的身份，另一方面因為他們其實沒有真正的身份，既非此亦非彼，結果被視為不光明正大和投機取巧。不同於澳門的葡萄牙人，香港的英國人從不把種族通婚視為能促進和諧和穩定的良法。相反，在許多歐籍人眼中，歐亞混血兒猶如美國南部州份的白種貧民。殖民地官員則常擔心殖民統治下出現這種種族混雜，會產生一種新人類，會產生新一類搖擺階級。寶玲曾憂慮，土著母親與各階級外國人所生的孩子，會因為處於無人照顧的可憐處境，開始長大成為危險分子。As in other European colonies, the growth of the Eurasian population produced all sorts of fears among the local European community about miscegenation, disease, and biological and moral contamination. Yet many Eurasians prospered in Hong Kong, because Eurasians were locally born residents who usually spoke both English and Chinese. Europeans often considered them more trustworthy, loyal, and reliable than the pure Chinese. As in other Asian colonies, Eurasians in Hong Kong often filled commercial and government clerical posts. Some Eurasians, such as the Ho brothers, Robert Horton, Ho Kam Tong, and Ho Fok, became fabulously wealthy businessmen and leaders of the Chinese business community. Still, they often remained socially ostracized by both Europeans and Chinese. Many thus married into other Eurasian families, creating a distinct Eurasian community with its own cemetery. 如同在其他歐洲國家的殖民地，香港的歐亞混血兒人口膨脹，令本地歐籍人社群萌生種種疑慮，由種族混雜、疾病乃至血緣不純和道德敗壞不一而足。不過，不少歐亞混血兒在香港成就甚高。由於歐亞混血兒在本地出生，通常中英文皆通，歐籍人往往認為他們比純種華人更可信賴、忠心和可靠。在其他亞洲殖民地的情況一樣，香港的歐亞混血兒常常充斥商界和政府的文書職位。有些歐亞混血兒如何氏兄弟、何東、何錦堂和何福，成為富甲一方的殷商和華人商界領袖，但他們在社會上仍常被歐籍人和華人排斥，因此多與其他歐亞混血兒通婚，產生了獨特的歐亞混血種族，還爭取到自己的墳場，專門安葬歐亞混血族群先人。So this is the end of the reading of today. 咁我哋今日就讀完咗呢個部分 ，which is all about the Eurasians。咁就係關於咧香港嘅歐亞混血兒嘅。So one of my teachers of the playback theatre that I did performance yesterday。咁我琴日做一人一故事劇場嘅其中一位老師啦。Veronica Nida is also a Eurasian, and her very famous solo piece in Hong Kong is all about her heritage. 咁Veronica Nida 就係我哋香港 playback 嘅始祖啦，佢帶 playback 嚟香港，然後係介紹咗 playback 同埋訓練咗好多 playback 嘅香港人啦咁樣樣。And 佢自己曾經有一個好出名嘅佢自己嘅獨腳戲，都係講關於佢歐亞混血兒呢個身份嘅故事咁樣樣嘅。咁裡面都係同我哋香港個歷史係息息相關啦咁。So it's a very interesting topic in a way that they seem to be kind of like a real tribe of native in Hong Kong actually, right？ 咁其實佢哋先至都算係香港其中一個原籍喺香港嘅人啦，即係咁樣樣。 and it's very like it's unique to this to the city。咁亦都係即係獨特係香港即係香港裡面即係出生嘅一種人啦咁樣樣。But like at the same time, it's also because of because they are mixed, then people like would have sort of like discriminated against them or have prejudice against them, despite the fact that they were successful。咁但係好有趣嘅就係即係因為佢係混血嘅關係，又即係亦都俾人歧視啦，咁亦都係即係大家對佢哋有偏見啦。無論佢哋幾高成就都好咧，大家即係都唔會即係點啊？大家都會仲係揞住覺得佢唔係純種嘅華人或者純種嘅歐籍人啊咁樣樣。So like the whole idea of like interracial relationship is also kind of like a huge taboo in many culture actually。咁但係即係其實就算而家都好啦，好多文化裏面咧唔同種族嘅人通婚，異族通婚咧都係仲係一種即係禁忌咁樣樣嘅。I had a friend like who would told me that like her parents would not like her to be dating with any person who is not like local Chinese，you know。咁即係我都有朋友即係佢屋企人咧就唔會中意佢同唔係即係本地香港人即係拍拖咁樣樣啦咁。But like I mean I think like most of my partners are not local Hong Kong. Like ever since I became an adult, I think 我好似成年之後咧都冇。係啦，我拍拖嘅人裡面，其實大部分而家絕大部分都唔係即係唔係本土香港人啦，已經咁樣。So for me, it's always just kind of like I've been dating all over the world 我其實即係我拍拖嘅對象都幾垃圾嘅，即係喺種族或者國籍上都係，即係我冇乜特別即係分係乜嘢。So it seems to be like language or culture or skin color. Like it doesn't really bother me that much, or like there is not a specific kind of like you know like sort of like I have to just only date with people who speak Cantonese or who are Chinese, you know, like as a matter of fact, I find Cantonese not so much like a language of love for me。咁好有趣，即係其實咧，我好中意中文 and you have to know I really love Cantonese and I think that it is very amazing and unique and wonderful and the best language in this world。咁但係即係大家都知我係幾咁愛廣東話、香港話，我係覺得佢係全世界最準確、最無瑕、最完美嘅精準嘅一個語言咁。But for me, it's just kind of like it's just really not a language of love. I don't know, like it doesn't arouse me. It doesn't attract me in the same way. I mean, the language itself, like, it's very. I'm very passionate for the language itself, but for people who were speaking, it's kind of like yeah. 咁但係即係我好愛呢個語言啦，但係講呢個語言嘅人，我覺得一啲都唔性感啦，一啲都唔能夠吸引到我，係啦，即係咁樣咯。I did have a few partners who are Hong Kongers， 咁我都有同香港人拍過拖嘅，我有嘅。But recent years I just like I'm more kind of like attracted to people from like different parts of the world。咁但係我諗即係我近呢好多年啦，已經係啦。我比較即係受到其他國籍即係嘅人吸引啦，咁樣樣係啦。咁或者即係拍拖對我嚟講係另一種嘢，係另一個世界，係另一種溝通。Or like for me like being in love or being in a partnership or a love relationship is a different way of communication. It's a different kind of world and yeah, it is just different. 咁我覺得係好唔一樣嘅。So it's always like interesting as well to see like the relationship between like culture, race and languages and what sort of elements that play that we consider into play with how we relate with other people, right？ 咁但係即係都好有趣對我嚟講就係、到底我哋同咩人或者我哋同人去建立關係、親密關係嘅時候，到底係基於啲乜嘢嘅咧？即係個樣啊、外貌協會，即係膚色、係種族、係文化、係語言，即係啲乜嘢咧咁 ？So yeah, it's just kind of like this sort of thing just. And because I've never thought about like giving birth to a child， 咁我從來冇諗住生仔啦咁。So for me, like this idea of like having, you know, like a mixed baby or you know, like doesn't really have any effect on me, you know, like although my friends would always be so excited, oh, you know, like if you have a baby with, you know, like a Caucasian or with your Cuban boyfriend, then it would be like really beautiful, you know, and I'm like, I don't care, like I don't want a baby, you know， 咁係咯，咁好多時候即係我啲朋友都如果你同即係呢個 Hello 或者你同即係你個古巴仔生仔佢混血兒好靚仔啊，好靚女啊咁樣樣，但係對我嚟講冇關係，因為我從來冇諗住生啊嘛咁樣咯。So yeah, so this is like something that is also like nothing that I would consider about because other people would think about like, oh, you know, how good looking that my babies would look, you know, that it doesn't matter to me at all。 因為有啲人會咁諗即係生個仔出嚟靚唔靚啊？我又唔關事。For me, it's just more like if my partner is good looking 咁對我嚟講就係最緊要我條仔或者我條女靚唔靚嘅啫咁樣咁基本上係啦我哋啲後代係點我完全唔 care， 因為唔打算有咁樣咯。So yeah, but anyway, this is it for today。 咁今日就嚟到呢度啦 ，and we'll continue to read to resist tomorrow. So see you again。聽日再見，拜拜。